Bienvenidos a esta presentación. This video will talk about how to tell somebody what time it is and how to tell somebody what time an event is at. Also how to ask what time it is and ask what time an event is at. First of all, let's talk about how to ask what time it is. The question ¿Qué hora es? Asks somebody what time is it right now. And the way you put the time together for 2:22, for example, is you start by saying son las, then the hour dos, the word y to connect the hour and the minutes, and then the minutes, 22. Son las 2:22. This pattern is how you tell time for 2 o'clock through 12:59. Since 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. up until 12 are plural hours, we have to start the sentence with son las. To say 1:05, it changes a little bit, and because it's only 1 hour, the 1 o'clock is singular, we use es la to start the sentence. Es la 1:05 is how we say it is 1:05. So for 2 through 12:59, we use son las to start the sentence, and for 1 through 1:59, we use es la to start the sentence. Some other times, son las 3:25 for 3:25. Son las 8:41 for 8:41. To say that it's 12:10, we say son las 12:10. Notice all of these started with son las because they were more than 1 o'clock. But for 1:08, we say es la 1:08. So there's some special vocabulary, as there is in English, to use for certain times. To say 30, we don't say 30, the number 30, we say y media. And for 15, we don't say 15, we say y cuarto. To say AM, we say de la mañana. And in Spanish, there's two ways to say PM. We say de la tarde, if it's in the afternoon. And we say de la noche, if it's in the evening. To tell someone that it is 2 o'clock sharp, you would say son las 2 en punto. And finally, the way to say until is the word menos. So let's see what some of these look like. To say 3:15, we don't say son las 3:15, we say son las 3:15. Be careful with the word cuarto because it's spelled like 4, which is TRO, cuatro, but this is cuarto, which actually means quarter. To say it's 8:30 rather than son las 8:30, we say son las 8:30. Now there are people that would say son las 3:15 and las 8:30, but it's more common to use these terms. Another term that I didn't put up above that you should know is to say 12 a.m. we can say son las 12 de la mañana, or we say es medianoche, which means midnight. And for 12 p.m., son las 12 de la tarde can also be said as mediodía, which means it's midday or noon. So how do we use that menos term? Well, the time here shown is 3:50, but in English we also say that it is 10 to 4. In Spanish, we can say son las 13:50 to say 3:50, or we can say son las 4 menos 10, which means 4 minus 10. This way is a little trickier because you have to remember to move ahead an hour when you do the menos. So now let's talk about how to ask what time something is at. Slightly different from just simply telling someone what time it is. The question is, ¿a qué hora? In this case, I want to know what time your Spanish class is at, so I say, ¿a qué hora es tu clase de español? So rather than just saying, ¿qué hora es? What time is it? You want to use the word a in front of it and say, ¿a qué hora es? Mi clase de español es a las 10:30 de la mañana. Please note that we have to use the word a in front of the time to say at. Mi clase de español es a las 10:30 de la mañana. It's at 10:30 in the morning. ¿A qué hora es tu almuerzo? At what time is your lunch? Mi almuerzo es a la 1:15 de la tarde. Notice, with the first example, we used a las because it was 10. And here we're using a la because it is 1 o'clock. And last example, ¿a qué hora es la fiesta? At what time is the party? La fiesta es a las 8 de la noche. To say it is 8 o'clock at night. Practiquemos. If you're filling out the set of notes, you can pause it. It is 1:15 in the morning. Es la 1:30 de la mañana. It is midnight. Es medianoche. Class is at 3:30 in the afternoon. La clase es a las 3:30 de la tarde. And to tell me that it is 4:30, we say son las 4:30. If we practice these times, we can say for 2:45 that it is son las 2:45 or son las 3 menos cuarto. 2:45 or 2:45. For 12:30, there's only one way to say it, son las 12:30. For 5:40, we're going to say son las 5:40. And we can also say 20 to 6, son las 6 menos 20. And finally, for 1:20, we say es la 1:20. Gracias por ver este video y te deseo mucho éxito.